guys, in this video I am doing an updated Run Disney running medal collection. I will show them all in detail as well as show how I organize them. And then at the end of this video I'll just talk about my upcoming, well, hopefully upcoming plans for any future Run Disney races. I started doing Run Disney races in 2013. And I actually signed up for one, and before I had even ran that, I already signed up for my next one, so I could get coast to coast. And yeah, it was just so much fun. I'm definitely not, or I wouldn't consider myself a runner. I don't even enjoy running. I enjoy running Run Disney races and getting Run Disney medals, and so I put myself through enough training to be able to succeed, but I still I don't have that like internal passion for running, but I have a passion for Disney and bling, so that's good enough for me. But definitely it's a good kind of starting point and a good motivation for you to start running if you want to do a Run Disney race, and they are so much fun. Even if you're not a runner, even if you're not that fast, as long as you can keep that 16 mile a minute pace, you're gonna do it. And yeah, they're just so much fun. You can also start it with the 5K or the 10K runs if you're not up to that half marathon yet. And yeah, it's just such a positive environment, and people stop. You're allowed, it's not frowned upon if you stop. You know, you can wait in line for pictures for like 10 minutes. That's okay. Whereas what other run would you be able to do? Well, not many, not in my city at least, where, oh yeah, I'm just gonna take a breather for 10 minutes on the side. You're gonna get like the medics thing, like, oh my God, you need to stop. Obviously you're exhausted. But anyway, Run Disney races are so much fun. These are all of my medals. And yes, as you can see, I have reorganized them to be the same run weekend. I have put them in from like top to bottom. Before I kind of had it as the 10K here, the half there, and then the challenge medal above, but it was just too chaotic looking. So now, and I love this, I am so proud of how beautiful and organized it looks. So I have, yeah, the challenge medal on top, or a special medal, sometimes in the coast to coast, and then the 10K all along here, and then the half marathons all along here. And so, oh, it just looks so good. But then you can also see from this setup which runs I did not do a certain race. Like here, you can obviously see I did not do a 10K. That was my second race ever. And well, my second Run Disney race, and so that was the Wine and Dine. And actually back then, they did not have a 10K, so yeah, no they didn't. Now they do, but so that's why there's none there. But I did get coast to coast, so that's why that's there. And then my very first run ever, I would have loved to sign up for Dumbo Double Dare, but I was just too slow. My sister had just told me about Run Disney races, and then I was like, oh, this one fits into my schedule, but it was already after this like start of registration. So the challenge, and that was the first year they did the challenge, that was all sold out. So I signed up for the 10K and the half separately, but because of that, I have the year one, I didn't do it, and then I have all the rest, but I did not get the Legacy Challenge this year because I skipped that first year, which so annoying. Anyways, but because this was a huge gap, I then put my ornament that I actually got, and this will go on the Christmas tree. It says 2017 here. But for the meantime, I was like, oh, that looks really good right there. So just put that there. So that takes up that gap, that it doesn't look so bare. And I know people are gonna ask, so my medal hangers that comes from metalhangers.com. It is one of in their magical collection. So it says every mile is magic in the Disney font, and then it has the two castles, the one at Disneyland and Disney World. And when I started, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just get a couple medals, that looks good. So that's what I did, and sure enough, like a year and a half later, it was completely filled, so I had to get the extender bar. So this is, I think what time I bought this, it was $70 US, which is so expensive, but honestly, it is worth it. I love the look of that. And then this one was an extra $30. And when you do purchase them, you get sent these little clips And that's what, as you can see, some of the medals are shorter. Then that's what I have, just these little clips that I've used to change the size. So I will start with the very first one. So the bottom ones are all, yeah, full length, like that. And then I have the 10K, and you can see right here, that's it. I folded it over and then clipped it. And then for when I get to the challenge medals, I did the same idea here too. There's the clip, and yeah, it's sturdy. I'm pulling down and it stays there. So for the first one, this was in 2013, and it says inaugural 10K. First year they did the 10K, missing the challenge. But it was Alice in Wonderland theme. And then the half marathon, what was the D? And then in 2013, like I mentioned before, I even had run that. I already signed up for Wine and Dine. So that was the one, Disney World. And at this point, the Wine and Dine was still in the evening. It started at 10 p.m. I loved it, especially coming from the West Coast. A start time of 10 p.m. East Coast time was only 7 o'clock my time, and I think we just had flown in, or I had flown in just the day before, so I was totally on West Coast time. So 7 o'clock, that's like a normal time I go running. And we finished the race at about 1, and then we had time in the International Food Festival, and again 1 a.m. but my body's like, oh, it's only 10. So I love that. That would be, I think, my favorite race experience was that one, based on then after how you get to go to the food festival, and that it was a night race. Now it's not a night race anymore, and I haven't done the day race, Wine and Dine, so I can't comment on that, but I absolutely love that. So then I got the little pin that goes with it, and then this one was in November, so that was the second race I did. So I got my very first coast to coast medal. The first year I did it, I got, yeah, my 2 on the West Coast and 2 on the East Coast medals. Yay! So then second year, we're going into 2014. So it was Lilo and Stitch themed. So we have Stitch medal. And then here's the half marathon medal. Similar to the year before, but it has kind of the extra circle around it. And then that was back when it was still called Dumbo Double Dare instead of Disneyland Double Dare. So we have that. I wasn't a big fan of the medal, although now looking back, seeing the other ones, I'm like, oh, that is kind of cute. That's all right. So then in 2014, that is the only race that I did that year. That was it. And then we signed up for 2015 to do Princess. I didn't do Glass Slipper Challenge. That was the challenge medal for it. My sister did, and I was so jealous. But again, that was something she had signed up, and I signed up like a week or 2 later. And once I found out she was doing it, I was like, I want to do it too. And Glass Slipper was already sold out. So this was the 10K medal. And then for the half marathon, which is beautiful with the jewel there. And then, I'm not going to go to this one yet, but then that same year, I did the Tinkerbell half marathon. And this time I did do that Pixie Dust challenge. So we did this was again 2015. So the Princess was in Disney World in February, and then Tinkerbell was in May in Disneyland. So that was there. And then this, and this spins. And then that. And at this race, I got my fastest time ever, 2:27.25. And then this was the challenge medal. I didn't love it, but it's okay. And then because I did it was coast to coast, but this combination of Princess and Tinkerbell, you get the coveted pink coast to coast medal, which is so pretty. So similar to the regular one, but obviously in pink, not the blue color. So that's because you did kind of what they classify as the girly races, I guess. That year I also did the Disneyland half, but because I already got the pink coast to coast, I didn't get another coast to coast, or I would have had to do another half marathon on the Disney World to get the blue coast to coast again. So I did, yeah, just 1 Disney World and 2 Disneyland races, but that's okay. So then this theme in 2015, theme was villains for the 10K. And actually, true story, I wasn't planning on doing the Disneyland half marathon that year because I had already done 2, but then rumor got out that they were redesigning the medal because it was the 60th anniversary of Disneyland, and it was going to be a whole new medal. And like, as I said, I'm all about the medals. I was like, okay, no, I have to do it. So that's why I signed up for it. And I'm so glad because this is so pretty too. And then, yeah. So yes, that was a busy year of 3 half marathons. And then I got the little pin to match. And then it was still Dumbo Double Dare. So that was that one. So then into 2016, I just did the one. That was the Disneyland one again. So we had Aladdin as the theme for 10K. And then this was the half marathon medal. And then I have the little pin here. And so we went back to the D. And then they redesigned the Dumbo medal though. And his ears wiggle. So that's pretty cute. Like that. But then I was like, oh no, I think I almost like this, but that's fine. And then we are now getting into this year, 2017. So I did Tinkerbell, and this one is by far my favorite medal, the Pixie Dust Challenge medal. But actually I'll start here. This is the 10K medal, and then this is my least favorite medal. I don't like the cartoony, like, well, not cartoony, but I don't know, I just don't like this look of Tinkerbell, but that's fine. I much prefer this medal from the previous years, but everyone has, you have to redesign them. And then, yes, this one, the Pixie Dust Challenge, is by far my favorite medal of all of them. So, oh, so nice. I absolutely love it. And then going into what we just had, the Disneyland Half Marathon Weekend 2017. So Monsters Inc. was the 10K theme, which I love that movie. That's one of my favorite, like, newer Disney movies, not counting like the classics when I was a kid. So yeah, I absolutely loved Monsters Inc. So this was my, well, I love this medal. And then Toy Story was the half. I was impartial about the theme, but actually this medal is pretty cool, and I like the baby blue. And yeah, and then this was the challenge that now it changed to Disneyland Double Dare, and then that goes there. And like I said, since I wasn't Legacy, Legacy, they just got, instead of this band, it said Legacy on it, but oh well. And then I chose this pin. It's, I guess, like a homage to the fidget spinners. But then it also opens too, and it says the 19.3, so I thought that was pretty cool. Those are all of my medals. It always gets asked which one was my favorite medal, and as I say, yeah, it would be the Pixie Dust Challenge here. And then which one was the hardest medal to get? I would say the pink Coast to Coast, just because you have to do 2 such specific races, and for me to do one on the East Coast to Disney World, it's just really hard, and it's just hard to get there and taking so much time off. So that's why, yeah, and that one you have to do not only that one, but also the Tinkerbell. So that's the hardest medal to get. The hardest run, honestly, I would say it was the half from this year. Just because it was so hot, if you watched my vlogs, and the last like 3 miles I had to walk because I was feeling lightheaded, like I was gonna pass out. So, and I've never experienced that before, so that was definitely the hardest one, like the hardest run, I guess. As I had said at the beginning, my favorite race experience was Wine and Dine when it was in the evening, and then you got to go to the food festival after. That was so much fun. Yeah, so those are all of my medals, my Run Disney medals. So pretty. So those are all of my medals. I hope next year to add, well, a couple more, and then even more in 2019. It's kind of up in the air right now with Disney if they're going to be having any West Coast runs in Disneyland. There are problems with Anaheim. The city isn't very supportive of like closing the roads and all of that going on. So, I mean, even for the Star Wars run in January, the registration hasn't opened, and usually you sign up like 8 months in advance. So, I don't know what's coming. I've heard lots of different rumors. Some were saying they were getting rid of most of them, keeping 2, one of them being the Disneyland half that I do every Labor Day long weekend. But other things have said no, none of them. So, honestly, I don't know. Hopefully there will still be the Disneyland Half Marathon in kind of end of August, early September 2018, and then I definitely will be signing up for that as soon as registration comes out. Fingers crossed that it will. I'm going to be doing the Dumbo Double Dare. or no, Disneyland Double Dare now. Disneyland Double Dare, and yeah, hopefully that is. And my thoughts are, for my sister and I, were thinking about signing up for the 2019 marathon weekend at Disney World. So obviously we are West Coast Canada. It's already expensive to go down to the States to California, but it's even more expensive and a full day of traveling to go over to the East Coast, to go down to Florida. So it has to be something that we've, it's a big event, and taking a lot of time off work. But we looked at the dates, and the January date fits into both of our schedule. I'm not back to teaching yet. It's still the end of winter break. So then I was like, okay, good, I don't have to get a substitute or anything. So we're thinking about that, but I'm like, all right, well, if I'm going all the way down there, I don't know if I do Dopey or Goofy challenge, but I don't know. Anyways, but I definitely want to do the full marathon. So that one, I know I will need a full year to prepare for if I choose. Even though I'm not a runner, I still, I don't know, for the Run Disney runs, I am able to do a half marathon under 60 mile a minute without much preparation. I'm not doing well, but I can do it. My body physically can do it. I do not think I'll be able to do a full marathon without proper training. So that's one that if I am going to make that, if I'm going to sign up for it, I have to make that commitment and actually train for it. And then I was like, well, if I'm going all the way down there to do a full marathon, then I'm not going to go there and get one medal and fly all the way down there, so I was like, then I will probably do definitely the half and maybe the 10K. But then why not just add the extra 5K and then you can get, all the medals. So that will probably be, as long as my sister do it. I don't want to go down there, travel all the way down there by myself. So as long as my sister's doing it, and actually, yes, she would not do the half, she would do the full, but she said she would only do the full. So I will do everything, I hope. So that is the plan for 2019. Obviously not this upcoming January, but 2019. And I mean, life can change, who knows, but that's my plan. Plus, we plan to get married, in June 2019, and then I'm like, my body will look amazing from all that marathon training for January, so by the time June was, I'll still look awesome. So I was like, oh, there we go, that ties in. Anyway, so that's what we're planning, but I do hope that Disneyland still has their runs, and then I'll also do the Disneyland half marathon in 2019 in Disneyland, so I can get my Blue Coast to Coast, or another Blue Coast to Coast, but that's all if things go as planned. So yes, those are my future runs, and yeah, let me know which Disney runs you have coming up, and if you have any questions, then definitely let me know as well. So thank you so much for watching and for requesting it numerous times. Sorry I didn't get onto it right away, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you guys later. Bye.